Hey, what's up? It's Who Is Real, man. I'm about to bring y'all that heat, man. I've been promising it to you. It's here, man. Shout out to all the subscribers, man. I'm just grateful and I'm humbled that everybody appreciates the content. Everybody's learning, and I appreciate that, man. I don't know. I can't thank you enough. I apologize, that these videos don't come out, but I'm not a big time YouTuber. I work every day. I got a busy life, a busy schedule, so I apologize that I'm not able to get these videos out as quick as I would like to, but things happen, life happens, you know what I'm saying? I'm blessed to still be here and still be able to, bring y'all that heat, you know what I mean? Shout out to all the subscribers, man. Shout out to all my people, man, you know what I mean? Let's get this work, man. You know what I mean? I'm here, let's get this work in, all right? So in the first Bible study, we talked about, did Jesus die, right? So I hope y'all, if you didn't get a chance to watch the Did Jesus Die video, watch that video first before you watch this video, because it'll give you a little bit more backstory. And in the interest of keeping this video as short as possible, I don't want to talk too much about the previous video. So I advise you to go watch that video, because I prove without a shadow of a doubt that Jesus did not die. And in this video, I'm going to show you why that man did not die. And I'm going to show you that that man was not the Jesus that y'all thought it was. It was not Mary's son. That was not the Jesus that went to the cross. I'm going to show and prove that in the Bible, once again, in the Bible, right? Say it with me. In the Bible. You know what I'm saying? So here we go. I'll be stop playing with y'all. Alright, so here we go. Here we go. So check this out, man. Now, Jesus prayed, remember, in Gethsemane, not to have to go through this crucifixion, right? And for the sake of, proving it from the Bible, we're going to read it. We all know the story, but for those that don't, this is how it goes. Mark chapter 14. We're going to come out of Mark chapter 14, verse 32. And they came to a place which was named Gethsemane, and he said to his disciples, sit ye here while I pray. And he taken with him Peter and James and John, and began to be sore amazed and very heavy, and said unto them, my soul is exceeding sorrowful unto death. I'm scared to die. I'm scared. I'm about to die. Tarry ye here and watch. You know what I mean? Y'all watch out. Y'all wait here and watch. And he went forward a little and fell on the ground and prayed that if it were possible, the hour might pass from him, right? And it says, and he said, Abba, Father, all things are possible unto thee. Take away this cup from me. Nevertheless, not what I will, but what thou wilt. We know that story, right? It's a beautiful story, right? It just tugs on your heart, right? Like Jesus praying and asking God that he don't have to go through with this crucifixion, right? Let's go to Hebrews 5:5. So also Christ glorified, talking about Jesus, not himself to be made a high priest. You know what I mean? Jesus didn't, seek no, he could have been the big church boss. You know what I mean? He could have been the T.D. Jakes. You know what I mean? He say, but he glorified himself. He glorified not himself to be made a high priest, but he that said unto him, thou art my son, today have I begotten thee. As he said also in another place, thou art a priest forever after the order of Melchizedek. Verse 7, who in the days of his flesh, still talking about Jesus, when he had offered up prayers and supplications with strong crying and tears unto him that was able to save him from death, and was heard in that he feared. I'm saying like this for a reason, because people want to make things, they make an illusion. They're good with this Bible. They are so good with this Bible. Okay, it says, though he were a son, yet though he was a son, yet learned he obedience by the things which he suffered. Okay, and I read it like that for a reason, because the things that he suffered was his fear. Okay, they want you to, but the illusion is that his suffering was going to the cross and getting whipped and getting mocked. Jesus did not go through this, and I'm about to prove that. All right, so go with me. Let's go back to Mark 14, right? And we're gonna go to verse 43 now, because see, here is where there's some trickery being done. Verse 43, it says, immediately, while he yet spake, cometh Judas, one of the 12, and with him a great multitude, with swords and staves, from the chief priests and the tribes, and the scribes and the elders. And he that betrayed him hath given them a token, saying, whomever I shall kiss, that same is he. Take him and lead him away safely. As soon as he was come, he goeth straightway to him and said, Master, Master, and kissed him. Right? And they laid hands on him and took him. Let's pause right there. Now, what I want to know is, if Jesus was this rock star, if he was this, doing all these miracles, bringing people back from the dead, he raised Lazarus, he, put demons into the pigs and cast out demons and did all kind of trickery, took two fish and 5 loaves and fed the multitudes, right? We're talking about that guy, okay? Why would Jesus need to be identified? And it says it right here. If you go down in Mark chapter 14 to verse 49, it says, I was daily with you in the temple teaching, and you took me not, but the scriptures must be fulfilled. But if he was there daily, why did they need to do the whole Judas? You understand what I'm saying? That don't make no sense to me. So it's telling me, what it's telling me is that this must be a different Jesus. Could be. It could be a different Jesus. And I'm going to explain to you why it could have been a different Jesus. You got to understand, in those days, right, a Messiah, these people, everybody was waiting on a Messiah. Everybody was naming their children Jesus. That was a common name in those days. It was common like John. It's still common. We just pronounce it different. We call it Jesus. You know what I mean? It's the same name. It's a common name. You run into a Jesus anywhere. So let's get that understood. So the number of Jesuses in the Bible really can't count, because I could go through here and find a few that's a different guy. But for the sake of sticking to the story, I'm gonna show you what they got in here, right? So here we go. Now this is not these. Now, mind you, these are not the only people who do not recognize this man. Okay. These are not the only people who do not recognize this man. In fact, nobody recognizes this man, okay? Let's move a little bit further on in the story, because I don't want to get long-winded, you know what I mean? But, I know y'all miss me, so you ain't going to hold it against me. Here we go. In Mark chapter 14, still in chapter 14, move down to verse 55, and it says, and the chief priests and all the council sought for witness against Jesus to put him to death, and found none. For many bare false witness against him, but their witness agreed not together. There was nobody could could say that this man did anything wrong, right? So here we go. Let's move further along in the story. Let's pick it up at Matthew 27 and verse 15. And it reads, Now at that feast, the governor was wont to release unto the people a prisoner whom they would. And they had then a notable prisoner called Barabbas. Therefore, when they were gathered together, Pilate said unto them, Whom will ye that I release unto you, Barabbas or Jesus, which is called Christ? For he knew that for envy had they delivered him. When he was sat down on the judgment seat, this is verse 19 now, this is key. When he was sat down on the judgment seat, his wife sent unto him, saying, Have thou nothing to do with that just man, for I have suffered many things this day in a dream because of him. Now, remember, Jesus prayed and asked God to prevent this event from happening to him. Then the wife of the judge that was in charge of Jesus' life or death has a nightmare about Jesus, and she tells her husband, man, whatever you do, cut that dude loose. I'm warning you, cut that dude loose. Do not mess with that man. That's exactly what the judge did. He says, but the chief priests and elders persuaded the multitude that they should ask that Barabbas be released and destroy Jesus, right? This is what it says. This is verse 20, right? Now, verse 21, he says, the governor answered and said unto them, Whether of the twain will ye that I release unto you? They said, Barabbas. Pilate said unto them, What shall I do what shall I do then until Jesus, which is called Christ? He says that again, all right? Which is called Christ. And they all say unto him, Let him be crucified. And the governor said, Why? What evil hath he done? But they cried out more, saying, Let him be crucified. Now, let's move back. Let's look at this a little closer, because some things was happening there that you can't see with the naked eye, okay? This man, Barabbas, they released this man unto the crowd, set him free, okay? The man's name has a special meaning, okay? In early Bibles, this man's name was Jesus. In early Bibles, his name was written as Jesus Barabbas. Okay? Now, this Jesus Barabbas, the reason why his name is special is because Barabbas, when you break it down, it breaks down into Bar-Abbas. B-A-R-I-A-B-B-A. And remember, when Jesus prayed in Gethsemane, what did he say? He said, Abba, Father. The word Abba means Father. Okay? So the man's name, in the beginning of the man's name, the B-A-R, the bar in the front of this man's name means son of. There's a lot of people in the Bible whose name is Bar something. Okay? Now, when you put this man's name together, his name is Jesus, son of the Father. There was a Roman Catholic priest who decided that to take the Jesus off the man's name because it would be confusing to people, because you got a man named Jesus, which is called Christ, and I'm about to prove to you that Jesus was never called Christ. And you got a man named Jesus, the Son of the Father. And this is the man that the people want released unto them. Alright? Now, Pilate said that this man was Jesus who was called Christ. Now let's go find out if Jesus was called Christ in Matthew chapter 16, verse, let me make sure I got the verse right. Matthew 16, verse 13. It says, when Jesus came into the coast of Caesarea Philippi, he asked his disciples, saying, whom do men say that I, the Son of Man, am? And they said, some say thou art John the Baptist, not Christ, some Elias, not Christ, and others Jeremiah, not Christ, or one of the prophets. Nobody was calling Jesus Christ. That's, you know what I'm saying? He asking his disciples, what do people call me? What do people say that? Who do people say that I am? They don't call him God. Nobody says that he's God. Nobody calls him Christ. So when Pilate says Jesus who is called Christ, who the heck is he talking about? He's not talking about Mary's son, because Mary's son was not called Christ. So who was he talking about? But you got a man, you got him, and you got another man named Jesus. Jesus, the Son of the Father. And that's a fact. This man Barabbas' name was Jesus Barabbas in earlier Bibles, and the church, the Catholic Church decided to do away with that. They didn't want that in there because they was getting questions about that. Wait a minute, this man named Jesus, the Son of the Father. They wanted to manipulate the story so much in the Bible. It's manipulated. The core of the story is still there, but they picked it so much apart to give y'all these religions, man. And that's real talk, man. That's straight up real talk. The man named Bar Jesus, his name was Son of Jesus. We don't know what his first name was because it's not in there, but his name was Son of Jesus. Now, what I find interesting about this man is not just his name, but his reputation. He was a magician, he was a sorcerer, and a false prophet, and a Jew. You know what I mean? So, you know what I mean? It's like, dang, is this Jesus' son? His name is Bar Jesus. In Acts chapter 13, verse 6. We could go right there. Acts chapter 13, verse 6, man. This man's name is Bar Jesus. It says, and when they had gone through the Isle of Patmos, they found a certain sorcerer, a false prophet, a Jew, whose name was Bar Jesus. That means, his name means Son of Jesus. So I don't know if this was Jesus' son, but he was, you know what I mean? He was a sorcerer. He was a false prophet. Jesus was a false prophet. I'm going to do that in another video. Jesus was a false prophet. Jesus was a Jew. I don't know. You know, but the church don't show us all this, so that's why it's important for us to do these Bible studies, man. That's basically the gist of this video. I'm glad it's not that long. You know, I don't know, man. I don't know what to tell y'all, man. You know, I get into a lot of the deeper meanings of these things in later videos, man. It's coming down the line. To all my woke family, don't worry, I got you. You know what I mean? I got you, man. I got you on the knowledge, man. I'm going to show and prove like how all of this stuff coincides with, you know what I mean, the pineal gland and, you know, with the sun, the moon, the stars, how it all aligns. You know what I mean? You will get a better grasp and a better understanding of who wrote the Bible, which was our people. Now, let me take that back. Our people wrote the original manuscripts. The white man wrote the Bible. Okay, there's a difference. You know what I mean? The issue that we're having is that we don't have no original manuscripts. They probably got them, but they're not divulging that information to us. And I'm quite sure that if they did, we would know that we wrote it. You know what I mean? And it's been adulterated, it's been bastardized, you know, but the core is still there, and I can show y'all some things there, and I'll be glad to, you know what I'm saying. So as far as, you know, as far as, you know, did Jesus get on this cross? No. He didn't get on the cross, fam. No.